Hey, what's up? This is Chris from The Longest Way. And yeah, we're in winds here today. Again. After crossing those mountains. Strong winds. I apologize for the noise. Nothing I can do about it. I'm using a little microphone with like a, you know, furry thing on top of it, so that's supposed to like keep away the noise. But yeah, and I went back to using my solar charger. I can go like 4 or 5 days without charging my stuff, but I don't know. I couldn't charge yesterday because I was staying outside. Is the image okay? The image is good. You can see my hair. Well, thing is, I can't wear my hat now because it's too fucking windy. Alright. So I haven't charged my stuff in a while. In like, well, just 2 days actually. Yeah, but like I said, I can go a few days. And I got the solar thingy. Only charges USB though. Yesterday I went to, oh, that mountain was terrible. Terrible. And after the mountain I came through a little village, or rather a big village. And then there was this huge mosque, like a big square outside of the village. It should be inside the village, right? But I went there and there were like a few little shops and a parking lot and drinking fountains and public restrooms outside. And it was a charity thing where people could stay outside. You could just kind of camp there. So I camped there in the shade of the mosque, right next to the mosque. It wasn't a bad night. It wasn't one of the best nights either, because the whole place was lit up all night, and there was always people. And yeah, today I can still feel yesterday in my legs, like this flat terrain walking is really nice. It's really easy. You can, you know, pull off 30s, 35s. But mountain roads with a caboose are terrible. She's really heavy now. I don't know what she weighs actually. Could be like 70 or something. Kilos, not pounds. And she just keeps dragging, and she's like, no, I don't want to go up the mountain. But yeah, now the mountains are supposed to be behind us. Well, this little range of mountains is behind us, and here is just going to be hills and, you know, flat roads. So that's good, but I can feel it. I'm slow today. I took like 2 hours this morning to pack up my stuff and leave. Plus, I'd really like to have spaghetti. Like Italian spaghetti. Ah, that would be awesome. No, I hate walking without a hat. It's just I got this hair now, and it's exactly at the length where it gets in my eye, you know? If it's a little bit shorter, it wouldn't get in my eye. If it's longer, it would just kind of, I don't know, flap against my cheeks or something. But like this here, there's always like a little pointy hair getting into my fucking eye. And then the sun, it blinds me. And I don't like it. And I don't feel like myself without the hat. You know, it's a hipster thing. We hipsters, we like our hats. I don't even know if you guys can hear me with the wind here. Yesterday was a lot worse at times in the mountains. Let's see, is everything okay there? Yep. But today's pretty bad too with the wind. How's the camera doing? Gotta check. Ooh, not bad. Nice. Huh. I'm expecting to reach Mashhad, second biggest city in Iran, in the next 2 days. And from there, I think I'm gonna go northwest to the Caspian Sea. And the problem with that is, I mean, it's really nice, I think, to see an actual sort of ocean, Caspian Sea. And I'm looking forward to it. But remember, I have these places that I wanted to see on this trip that I kind of came up with in 2007. One of them is Tehran. But the problem is Tehran is not on the coastline. It's a little bit inward in the country, and it's behind huge mountains. Apparently, from what I can tell from the map, you'd be walking along the coastline. It'd be like basically at like an altitude of 0, kind of water level, and then you would have to cross like 3,000 mountains. No, that's not the number of the mountains. 3,000 meter high mountains, like a mountain pass, and then you'd get to Tehran, which is sitting at about 1,000 altitude or something. I don't know if I want to do that. You know, Iranians are really nice, but they drive like maniacs. It's not nice when they're in cars. So I don't know about those mountain passes. Plus, you know, caboose all being heavy and stuff. So I'm thinking maybe I ought to revise my list of places I wanted to see. Plus, the list of places gets really thin towards the second half of the journey. I think we're reaching second half now. Like if we started from Beijing and we want to go all the way to Bad Endorf, which is the center of the universe, my hometown in Germany. This should be about halfway. And up to here, I think we have like 15 places or something that I really wanted to see. And from here, it's after Mashhad, it's Tehran, it's Yerevan in Armenia, it's Istanbul, of course, it's Munich, and then it's my home. So it's like 4 places left. And I'm thinking, I don't know, when I came up with the original places, I think it was all a bit far away, and I was probably paying more attention to what was immediately ahead. So I just kind of came up with these places in Asia, mostly in China actually, that I wanted to see. And maybe I didn't really think I was ever going to reach Europe, which still seems very far away. Yeah, but maybe I gotta, ooh, I found money. There we go. So how much is this here? Well, the little things here are zeros. I figured that out. And this here, I don't know. It's not a 5. The 5 looks like an upturned heart, or like a butt, whatever you want to call it. So this is like a something. Could this be a 6,000? But who would make a 6,000 coin? Huh. Maybe it's a 2. Well, anyway, let's keep it and ask somebody. That's how I make my money, by the way. I just kind of walk around and pick up whatever money I find. And what was I saying? Yeah, so like on the second half of the trip, if it ever gets that far, you know, I don't want to be overly optimistic or, you know, go like announce like a big thing. But maybe I should come up with new places. Like now, I really want to see Baku. Heard the girls are beautiful there. The most beautiful. That's what I heard from a very credible source. I want to see Tiflis in Georgia. And yeah, so maybe I should put them on there too. And then I don't know if I don't know if Tehran, I mean, I'm probably gonna go there anyway because I have to catch my flight from Tehran to Taiwan at the end of this month. But maybe it will be sort of a place like Isfahan or, you know, I don't know, some other places that are kind of off the road, like Khiva in Uzbekistan. That are off my track, but I still go to see them, but they're not part of the longest way. Maybe it's gonna end up like that, I don't know. But Istanbul, that's like, I mean, imagine Istanbul. Isn't that magic? The name, and it sits between Asia and Europe. Let me turn you guys a little bit. And there's a bridge there that has one foot in Asia and one in Europe. And I don't know if that bridge is walkable at all, but if it is, I want to walk that bridge with a caboose. I want to be in the center of the bridge and look down and be between the continents. I want to do that. That's a dream. And I hear a lot of people, you know, they like to commit suicide in romantic places. A lot of people jump from the Eiffel Tower. A lot of people jump from the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge, which is also quite romantic, you know, with the fog and all. And apparently a lot of people, they jump from that bridge. So they die between Asia and Europe. And I'm thinking, that's not the worst place to die, is it? I mean, if you've got your mind set on it anyway. And you know, like, what else are you gonna do? You could use, like, you know, a lot of people, they use trains, which I'm against. They kind of standing on a railroad track, and then some poor fucker is driving that train, is operating that train, and he has to see you standing there, and he has to hear his train, or maybe even just imagine hearing his train, you know, mangle you. That's not nice. People shouldn't do that. Or, like, I don't know, jump off of places where there's concrete below and maybe other people. You might hurt somebody. Plus, it's gonna look really shitty down there. Like Eiffel Tower, forget it. I mean, it's romantic and all, but if you're gonna jump off like a bridge where, you know, like Golden Gate Bridge or something, they got nets now, so that's not gonna work. But yeah, not that I'm advocating suicide, but I'm thinking if society was a little bit more open towards the idea, I think maybe it would take a little bit of the misery out of it. You know how people that are so alone when they do that, and they're like, because everybody's pretending, no, I'm not suicidal, and I've never had any of these thoughts, and then you're thinking, oh shit, I'm like the only one, me and Kurt Cobain, that sucks. And then you listen to a lot of Kurt Cobain because that guy is the only one who understands you or something. Well, how did we get here? Yeah, I was trying to make the point that that bridge in Istanbul is very, very romantic. And I was also trying to make the point that it's a good place for suicide if you are determined to do it anyway. Which I think you should seek help first. And, you know, think about all the donuts you're gonna miss, especially the Boston cream filled donuts that you're gonna miss. And think about all the fucking you're gonna miss. And think about, I don't know, the newest iPhone upgrade you're gonna miss. And all these things, and even the shitty things, like fucking mountains you gotta walk sometimes, they're fucking shitty. But think about all that and all, and seek help. But if you've only got one option, I think the bridge is a good place. And I want to walk across that bridge and not jump, but walk across it with a caboose. And that would be awesome. And then after that bridge, I don't know. It seems as though after the bridge, there are so many possibilities. There's the scenic route along the Mediterranean through like former Yugoslavia, the Balkan route, and that would be kind of awesome. Oh yeah, like I didn't see that guy. Or I could go like the more like sort of Central and Eastern Europe route, Romania, Hungary. But then it feels so far away, so I can't really think about it. I can't even think about the bridge in Istanbul. I'm kind of just thinking a little bit ahead, which would be Iran. What will I do? Go west towards Tehran? Not go by the shoreline of the Caspian Sea? Go through more desert areas, but go through Tehran? Or go north and then think, you know, maybe Tehran will just not be part of the longest way in its form of a long red line. I don't know. By the way, I registered the domain, thelongredline.com. It's mine. And if you click on it, nothing will happen. There's no site. The only thing that does happen is you get a little file, a KMZ Google Earth file. I think it's like 6 KB or something. It's tiny. And that file is my, you know, the longest way track, all the way from Beijing to here, or to wherever, with all the highlights. You know, I marked all the little places that were nice, and I marked the places where I danced. Are we still filming, by the way? You never know. Let's see here. Still filming and still, what the fuck? What's up with that? Oh, but the camera, we're out of battery. And I can't charge this battery with a solar thingy because it needs 220 volt. A brilliant move by DJI. You know the GoPro, you can just charge it via USB, but not this one. Anyway, last thought. There's movies you like, and there's movies you hate, and there's movies you don't care about, which is probably most movies. I kind of don't, like, I don't care about any Marvel movie, any. I just don't care. I watch them and I'm like, okay, do they die, do they live, I don't care. Or just many movies. But then there's these movies you hate, but then you think about it and you kind of like it, but you're not sure if you're like if it was intended that you liked it. Now the movie that kind of brought this up for me is I think it's called Captain Fantastic or something like that. It's a fairly new movie, like 2 years old or something, with that Lord of the Rings Aragorn guy, Viggo Mortis or something. Riggo Mortis, let's call him that. So this Riggo Mortis guy, he's like the dad of this family, and they're all like living like an alternative lifestyle in a forest. They don't have any contact to civilization, in quotes, and it's like a bunch of kids, like, I don't know, 7 or something, and they live there in a little trailer, and they do physical exercises like crazy, and they do all kinds of educational programs, you know, just with a dad. But where's the mom? And then the mom is dead. And then during the movie you find out she apparently committed suicide. Again, we're talking about suicide, I don't know why. But the movie then goes on about how like the kids, I think they want to have a proper burial for the mom or something. So they go get the corpse because, you know, they have their own way of doing things, not the civilized way, in quotes, in air quotes. And then they steal the corpse, and then they sing with it and all. And I hated that movie. While I was watching it, I was like, what the hell? Like, this Riggo Mortis guy, he's always like, I don't know, he just likes the, oh, I'm such a good guy, the role, you know? Like, I don't know, maybe I don't know him well enough. Maybe he's played a bad guy before. But I got so, like, just annoyed by the character that he was playing, like super self-righteous, super arrogant, but like somehow that was the lead of the story, and I thought I was supposed to like him, but I couldn't. I just, you know, the more the movie played on, the more I hated that guy, and I thought he was actually a psychopath. And then the movie is over, and I'm thinking, well, that was just off. Like, the whole thing is off. Like, these kids, they steal the corpse of their mom from the ground, and then they sing with it in a truck. And it's like they hate civilization because civilization is weak, and they know so much more than anybody else because they have their homeschooling and they do this physical exercise. And the dad, he loves them so much, but he's like at odds with society. And then why didn't mom commit suicide, right? If everything is so nice. And then I thought about it, and maybe it was because I really hated it, so I couldn't let go. You know, and some things you can't let go, like fucking U2 and Bono and that shit, and you're like, the more you think about it, the worse it gets, the shittier it gets. But this movie, I thought about it, and I thought, it's about fascism. It's about dictatorship. It's about fascism. It's about these things. This dad is an actual psychopath, driving his wife to suicide, taking his kids into this alternate reality where they're superior, like Nietzsche, the superhuman, the Übermensch, and they're like superior. But in the movie you can see, like, in little details how they actually hate it, how they dread it, and then they're made by peer pressure to do these just disgusting things, like dig out their mom's body and sing with it and shit. So no, that was a good movie. But it was advertised. I remember looking at the cover, and, you know, it's called Captain Fantastic, and it's like a colorful cover with, like, I don't know, like a happy little bus with this happy family and shit. And it was totally advertised in the wrong way. It's a psycho thriller, and as such is really good. It's really good. Like, how just psychopathic the whole situation is. But I'm not sure if it was intended as such. That's like the whole point. Sometimes it happens. Okay, so the camera shut off. You're gonna bear with me, maybe, or you just, you know, maybe you logged off. Well, then you wouldn't hear this. Anyway, Yeah, sometimes it happens in art that somebody did something and created something, and there was maybe no further intention, but other people, they can, because art is a two-way communication, they can find something in there. Like when you read the Moby Dick, the author, I don't think Melville was a smart man. When you read the book, it talks about, at length, it talks about how whales are actually fish for pages and pages and pages. It just goes on with this ridiculously stupid idea. And then in the end, if you actually read the afterword, then it talks about how he's successful with this book, and then he sends a letter to a friend and he says, well, the book with the big whale was a huge success, so now I'm thinking about making something even better, which is going to be a book involving a giant octopus. So you get like kind of this idea how the guy has no clue why people are actually reading his book and you know, attaching so much value to it. It happens in art. The artist creates something thinking it's a book about like a, you know, an action, semi-scientific, semi-action novel about a white whale who's super powerful, like a sort of Marvel thing that I don't care about. But there is this deeper struggle in it. Ahab and the white whale as a symbol. This doesn't necessarily have to exist at all. Yeah, and sometimes that happens, and I think that's fascinating. And it happens in the longest wave video. I don't know if we're going to call it art, but it goes in the same direction as I get emails by people and they tell me all these things about the video. They're not in there. Or no, that was wrong. They might be in there, but I didn't put them in there intentionally. It's like people, they watch the video, and I don't think they're looking at me really. I think what they see is they see themselves. They start out looking at this face, which would be my face, but then they imagine themselves being out there, and they imagine the adventure, and they see these things in my face that I didn't put them there for others to see intentionally. I didn't want them to see something there. But if they do, again, it's a two-way communication. You have every right. It's your video as much as it's mine. Well, no, it's mine. But yeah, okay, so you've been staring at a black screen or something. I don't know, maybe I should put a video of something else in there. Something pink, so you know, you have something to look at. And I can just tell you, out here, it's very beautiful right now. Too bad the battery is empty. But it's beautiful. Have a good day. Dudettes and dudes.